If you're a man and you don't have Surfshark on your phone or on all your devices, because one subscription works on all your devices as it happens, what are you playing at? You mean to tell me that you've never wanted to change your location to watch that game of football that's not on your local broadcast? Have you never wanted to do that? You have wanted to do that. You've never wanted to see the cool shows they've got on Netflix in America? I'm sure you have. You've never wanted to watch a certain kind of fun content in the UK, but your government don't like it. Got to prove your identity just to have a bit of fucking alone time these days. Not anymore. Yeah, not with Surfshark. The gift that keeps on giving is what they've described it. By they, I mean me. Because it doesn't just do the fun stuff, it also protects you online. You want to log into public Wi-Fi and check your banking or check your emails without worrying about a data breach. It protects you. Surfshark encrypts your internet connection and keeps you completely safe. And getting this to work is so easy that even an idiot like me finds this so easy. Just one click of a button and I'm in America. Brilliant. And this product is so good that they've done a 30-day money-back guarantee if you're not satisfied, which you will be. Man. Every man should have this app. It should be a thing that we grade each other on. If you're in a bar and you see a mate and you got Surfshark and he goes, what? And you go, well, you haven't heard of it. What's wrong with you, like? Genuinely, where the fuck is this going? It is class, though. I'm not even lying. Like, it is absolutely class. And that is why you need to click the link in the description below and get your 4 months extra of Surfshark when you use our link, surfshark.com/paingame. Get it sorted. Get on it now. All right, Eddie Hall versus Tommy Fury reaction today, and we're also going to do a little prediction at the end for the UFC White House event. And a lot of you will know Tommy Fury, obviously the brother of Tyson Fury, fought Jake Paul. Here he is getting dropped by Jake Paul, a fight that he just about won. It was a close fight. He also fought KSI after that. Here's KSI, sticking it right on him. KSI also, like Jake Paul, an influencer coming into the boxing world. Tommy Fury, brought up in boxing, claims to one day want to be a world champion, no less. And how's he going about getting that world title? He's fighting this guy, Eddie Hall, one of the world's strongest humans ever, to be fair. I mean, unbelievable athlete, but again, not a boxer. So look, I've never won a world title. I don't know necessarily how to go about that. I have watched like Vidal Riley and, you win the British title, win the European title, then go for a world title. He doesn't go, let me fight some YouTubers and a weightlifter. Interesting that, isn't it? It's almost like he's talking bollocks. Now, Eddie Hall weighed in at 325 pounds, right? That's not a heavyweight. That's a heavyweight. Tommy Fury, on the other hand, 217 pounds. Very differently built human beings. And don't get me wrong, not one of us would want to get punched by Eddie Hall, right? No one wants that. But as someone who's been 325 pounds not long ago, when I started my weight loss transformation, that's literally the weight I was, the weight that Eddie is right there. And I've been in the boxing ring and sparred, moved around with a lad better than Tommy Fury. Shout out Lawrence Oswecki on the Pain Game. You all know him. Check his channel out. It's fantastic, by the way. Former Team GB captain, right? This lad was a national champion. Something Tommy Fury will never be, in my opinion. When you're that size and you're moving around with a guy who's light on his feet, you realize strength. It's great, yeah, brilliant for a while it lasts. But boxing isn't a strength sport. It's a movement sport, man. It's about movement. You can't take advantage of that strength without being able to close the distance, to be able to catch the guy. And when you're in there with a lad who can do 12 rounds without breaking a fucking sweat, and they're quick enough and they're strong enough to hit you back as well, to keep you off them to some degree, it's difficult, man, because it isn't a real fight. This isn't like MMA. If this was MMA and Eddie could get a hold of him and use that strength, it would last about 60 seconds, if that. Eddie probably smash him and then he'd say, right, Tyson Fury, you get in next, I'll do you, and on the cage. Completely different situation. And this is what I love about boxing, to be fair. I love that technique can be, physical attributes. The problem is when you've been boxing your whole life and you're in there with a guy who's had his second boxing match in his life, Eddie Hall, probably never picked a pair of gloves up until a couple of years ago. The level gap, if you're talking about winning world titles, it should be massive. So let's take a look and see what it was like. So Eddie came out on the front foot. I mean, immediately putting the pressure on Tommy. And if you thought Tommy was going to try and assert his, technical prowess early, you thought wrong, because he was running. He was running, son. Honestly, the odd little tiny body shot there, and then he's not trying to exchange at all. And look, I'm not necessarily expecting him to do things that are stupid. Of course, we want to see Eddie flatten him. That would have been a lot of fun, but he has to make it hard for Eddie. But at the same time, there's a level of output that I'm expecting from a pro boxer in there with someone who, yes, is a beast, but is a novice. Eddie just chasing him round, Tommy just running away. the odd little jab. That he did actually try for something there, and Eddie caught him, and he caught him again there. So yeah, the one time Fury took any risk in that first round, he got smashed straight in the head for it. Second round, and Tommy. It's not giving elite boxer world champion one day type shit, is it? I mean, did Big John show him that? I'm not sure that was what they had in mind, but in the game plan before they started the fight, it's just getting mauled, really. I mean, you see this moment here, as soon as Eddie locked arms with him, that would have been the end of that. In a real fight, that would have been over. Eddie again, chasing him. He's not cutting the ring off Eddie, obviously. He doesn't, he's learning on the job here, you know what I mean? What can we of course, if he knew more, he'd be able to inflict more damage. But again, what's Tommy doing really there? Second round this. I mean, it's just, oh, yeah, man. Fuck me, Misfits. It gets you laughing like no else. Tommy's just like, what's happening? Like, I'll give him one thing, Tommy. He circled away from the power hand, so you did that right. But would you ever see Vidal Riley looking like this in the middle of a fucking fight like that, man? Jesus Christ, son. World champion. Come on. Unfortunately, Eddie couldn't take advantage of those mistakes that Tommy was making and putting himself in those situations there. And obviously, round 3 here, Eddie is beginning to tire because it's so hard powering an engine that size. I mean, he's one of the largest humans in the world, for Christ's sake. And actually backed away quite nicely there and kept Tommy at range. Didn't get, hit as flush as he could have done. And again, even now, Tommy, when Eddie's fading, he's still so negative. He's still so afraid of what's coming towards him. And again, he's a big man. But I'm not the one who said you were going to be world champion one day. You are. So you should be able to offer a bit more than just running away and having the odd jab. Eddie tries to corner him here. And to be fair to Tommy, he tries to let his hands go, misses with every fucking shot. So the one time he got Eddie, he outmaneuvered Eddie. Not great, like. Nice combo there from Tottenham. Not everything landed. Like, he did miss a good few shots, but at least he actually threw some fucking shots. Nice job, Eddie, and then gets caught. But again, nice straight left from Eddie there. Fucking get in, son. And again, beforehand, Tommy's saying, you're going to see a better version of me. You're going to see this, you're going to see that. Well, not really, mate. Same negative sort of mind state that he's usually in. This is round 6 here, and to be fair, Eddie double jab right hand and another right hand. And Tommy's answering back. And look, Eddie's putting it on him big time. And this is round 6. This is when Eddie's gas tank should be running on fumes. But Tommy didn't enact that. He didn't apply enough pressure himself. He didn't push him backwards. He didn't get him questioning himself, making him work, which is what top boxers do to you when you're in there. And still, Eddie pouring it on in the final minute of the final round. Left hook. Tries. Tommy runs away. Does he get any shots off? Does he fuck? And again, nice jab, but again, jab and run, jab and run. This is the 6th round, man. You should be fucking pouring it on at this point. You're the pro boxer. Come on, man. Bullshit. Body shot, Eddie, and he misses with the right hand, but bloody hell, Tommy is in fucking defense mode. Is that winning a fight? Is that really what we're saying? He won that fight? Give him the decision. If you think he landed the more punches, mathematically speaking, give him the decision if you want. To me, I had it 3 each, by the way. I had Eddie winning the first 2 and the last one. But it was close. And the point is if you've been boxing all that time and you're a big lad yourself, it shouldn't be close. And look, credit Eddie Hall. He had a good fucking go. If he'd have been in there with another heavyweight who had a similar amount of experience, who couldn't move as light on the feet as the way Tommy did, who had to trade with him, who wanted to trade with him. Tommy didn't really want to, right? And exchange with him, he probably knocks them clean out. But there's just such a gap in Tommy's ability to move and Eddie's ability to move. And that allowed Tommy to run away and pick him off and outscore him. Only just. If you're over 250, boxing, it's not for you. MMA, different story altogether, in my opinion. What do we expect from Tommy next? Not a lot, to be honest. He'll probably disappear for many, many months. He'll show his face again when the money's starting to go down, and he'll be on the phone to Misfits, not pro boxers. He won't be fighting pro boxers. Him and his dad will carefully select their next opponent, which then they'll make a load more money out of. And then he'll fuck off again and keep talking about, one day I'm going to win a world title. Because that's what they do. They said Jake Paul was like a pit stop. I'm going to do this, then I'm going back to pro boxing. This was like years ago now. And what's funny is the one dude who we were all like, this is an interesting fight, where Tommy Fury was not necessarily the automatic favourite, was Darren Till. And Darren Till is an MMA fighter coming into boxing. Even he's not, a natural born boxer who was born and bred to do this like Tommy was. So Tommy officially still should have had an advantage. And what happened there was, The big press conference, you'll all remember, Darren Till went a bit crazy and he was calling them out. I think Big John got cold feet more than anything. This whole, he's going to kick us in the head. Fucking Tommy's pretended like he was going to elbow KSI before they fought. No one said shit. And now we've got Darren Till being escorted out of buildings because it's in the contract for the Furies that he's not allowed to be there. Unfucking believable, man. The big bad Fury family shit scared of Darren Till. It's a fact now, like. And they've tried to deny, it's not in the contract. It's fucking in the contract. The security guards are even fucking saying it, man. And I think what happened was that Big John thought, an MMA fighter, go on then. And then he went and looked at the footage of Darren and realised, this guy is a fucking problem. I'm not saying Darren Till's the greatest boxer ever. Even he wouldn't say that. But the reason we don't know how good Tommy Fury is because he never actually fights other boxers who have credited history where we understand, all right, where do they lay in boxing rankings? With Darren, even though it was MMA, we have a good understanding of just how good he is. And I think they've seen that and thought, oh shit, we fucked up. We picked this dangerous southpaw. And you see the little spots Tommy ended up in there against Eddie. Put yourself in that position against a skillful striker like Darren Till, you're going to get slept. And they went running. Straight facts. They went running, man. And it's a shame for Darren because I'd loved him to get those opportunities. Like, he's a good guy. And they fucked him after he signed on the dotted line. So he's got every right to be showing up and making them and embarrassing them. They deserve it. When you sign to fight like that and you fuck up another man's money, absolutely, you should be shamed. And I think we're at a point now with Tommy where, I mean, obviously no one respects him as a fighter in terms of as a professional boxer. We know he's a decent boxer. I mean, obviously, he navigated Eddie quite well. In Eddie's a very big man. That's not something anyone can do. But again, we're not judging you against normal guys. You're the one saying you want to be a world champion, and yet you're running scared from an MMA fighter turned boxer. Fuck off, man.
Took fucking 20 minutes on me back. When I eat a fucking win, I'll push them Superman like this up your fucking ass, you queer. Here, look at I don't give a fuck. I ain't got fucking bad hands. Simple. Does anybody in this fucking go halfway? Does any fucking want to fight? Who wants to fucking go?
The thing with Big John is, you know what? I get he's just trying to look after his kids and make sure that they have good lives and get plenty of money, and he's cherry picking for Tommy. I get it. I don't even blame him necessarily. I blame Tommy a bit because he's giving it world champion. But like we've seen before, like he gave it that about Eddie Hall, John Fury, and then in the press conference, he was nice as items to him. He says he wants to fight Carl Froch. Misfits put £1 million on the table, and he says it's not my worth. I'm worth more than that. Oh yeah, fuck man. John's boxing career was respectable in that anyone who gets through the ring deserves a level of respect, and he did all right. But come on, Carl fucking Froch, Hall of Famer, world champion. And you're saying you deserve more. You're just pricing yourself out. And that's fine. If you want to do that, do that. But then don't strip off and, I mean, never strip off if you can help it. Fucking hell, John. Don't walk around talking shit about Carl Froch when you've been offered £1 million to fight him. And then you still say that's not what you're worth. So a quick word on a couple of the other fights of the night. Matty Floyd versus Anthony Taylor. Anthony Taylor is the champion. And he was getting roughed up by Matty Floyd. There was some dodgy tactics in there. There was some holding. I think he comes from bare knuckle from memory. But look, at the end of the day, Anthony Taylor, you can't complain to the referee while you're getting your arse kicked. You need to actually just defend yourself, bro. He was struggling a bit, a lot more than we normally see. Anthony Taylor's generally on Misfits level, high level guy. But I'll be honest, AT, he really struggled in this fight. He did not look like he was winning at any point. And there was a low blow from AT there, and you see he's struggling now. It got really weird towards the end. AT starts screaming to the ref saying, "I've got something in my eyes."
AT screaming that his eyes are burning.
He said, "My eyes are burning." This is so Misfits, by the way. I'm like, what the fuck's going on? You're getting your ass kicked, mate.
It's hard to see. Something's really in my eye. It burns like icy.
A peculiar moment here. Wade Clemens, this could be a tactic to buy time. Could be some sort.
So he says to the referee, "I can't see," right? And I'll be honest, when I was watching it, I thought, you don't want to be in there. You've been getting a batter in. It's not going your way, and you're quitting. But I didn't have any context at the time. Now, apparently, and I don't know if this is true, in the back, they caught this geezer rubbing some sort of thing on him to potentially have this kind of impact. I don't know. AT is known to be a grappler, someone who holds on a lot. Maybe they were trying to put something on him to make that more difficult. That happens in MMA quite a lot, apparently. It's fucking mental. But the way AT then reacts as they stop the fight is just weird. My question would be, if you couldn't see and you couldn't fight, how come after the fight was stopped, you looked right at him in the corner, run right towards them and started throwing punches? You couldn't continue punching before because you couldn't see, and now you're happy to run directly over there and start throwing punches. Like, it doesn't make any sense. If the thingy was rubbed on him before he went out, wouldn't you have had it in your eyes a lot sooner than, what is it, the 5th round this got stopped? Like, you were fighting for 5 rounds. And I'm not calling the guy a liar, it's just, yeah, it didn't look good. And look, some people might say he heard about this thing that had gone on before the fight, and in the fight he realizes, fuck it, I'm going to use this to get out of jail, because he kept his belt. They disqualified it. They no contest or whatever. So maybe he knew the fight was going to shit for him, and he thought, I'm going to use this against these fuckers. Maybe. And some people would say, who can fucking blame him when these guys were trying to, I don't know. I don't know what the fuck's going on. It's chaos. It's misfits. And here's another mad fight. Ibiza final boss versus McCann. I mean, fuck me. I laughed so hard when I realized Ibiza final boss was a Geordie. I'm like, of course he is. Of course he is. We run Ibiza. This fight has gotten a lot of criticism for like the lack of ability, the lack of just technique in any way. And as you can see, they go at it like fucking lunatics to start off with. There was biting, there was headbutting, it was crazy. And shout out to a guy called Henry. He did a video on this. I just seen this morning real quick about, how much he hated this and how it's so unboxing, and like, why do people watch this when you can watch like actual technical boxing? And I started thinking, and I was like, why do they enjoy it? And I think when you're watching real technical boxing, because sometimes the guys are obviously they're good. They don't make a lot of mistakes. The opportunities to, punish each other and hurt each other and to see really bad knockouts and big punches. It doesn't happen all the time, right? Sometimes you can watch an entire boxing card and see no stoppages, no knockouts, which is what people want ultimately. And sometimes they also want just they like the fact that it's just a normal guy straight out the pub, doesn't give a fuck. Combination of just like laughing and being like, fucking hell, this is mental, this, isn't it? And also like the anything can happen factor. Look at how these two are swinging. I mean, look at that. It's no technical, but it is, for me, it is entertaining. I can't even, and that's why we shouldn't compare it. All right. It's not really comparable, is it? It's like comparing me kind of a kickabout to the fucking World Cup that's on now. But I guess it's the same as like, if you see like a road rage incident and you're driving by and like 2 middle-aged men are just scrapping because they one pulled in front of the other, you will slow down and want to watch because you're like, this is pretty good, isn't it? And look, Misfits is always going to divide people. This apparently was one of their biggest pay-per-views they've done in a long time. So like, they're not going anywhere. Do you know what I mean? If anything, this is actually reawakened Misfits in some ways. And personally, I don't take it too seriously, so I just enjoy it for what it is. Do you know what I mean? But there was one moment where I did think that was nice. That was a good moment from Misfits. They announced the signing of Campbell Hatton, son of boxing legend Ricky Hatton. Now, when I was a young'un, watching Ricky Hatton was one of my ways into boxing. I loved him. I absolutely thought he was like the working class hero. And after Campbell has lost his dad in such sad circumstances, and he himself had a boxing career, he had a right good go at it. He wasn't anywhere near as talented as his dad, and like, how could anyone live up to that? He exited the sport of boxing, and I just think it's nice that he can continue repping his dad and repping the family name and be a part of boxing in some way and have fights that are more on his level. Make a bit of money. Good for everything he's been through. Good to keep him fucking active. Keep going, because this kid's been through a lot, and the way he speaks, he's an absolute credit to the family and he's a credit to his dad, and I just wish him all the best. Now for a couple of quick predictions on the UFC White House event, right? We got the main 2 fights of the night. I haven't done a load of film watching for this. I'm just literally doing off the top of my head here. Topuria versus Gaethje. If this was a prime Gaethje, I'd probably think he had a good chance, just because of the size of him, the fact that he can grapple, the leg kicks, which I think would have played well from against Topuria, and just the overall all-round game. With Topuria coming off of a long layoff, he's had all these personal problems, which can't be good for any fucking fighter. If anyone could have given Topuria problems, that old Gaethje in his prime would have been a good contender. I just don't think the version that he is now is going to be able to hang with how sharp we see Topuria. Like, taking time off when you're younger, it doesn't impact you as much. Still not great, but I think that Topuria's laser precision in how he does tiny little things to make people make mistakes and then lays those traps. And when they make those mistakes, he doesn't just hit you once for it. He actually throws combinations out. He throws punches like a proper boxer, and they're on the button, and it's multiple times. And a guy who's as battle-worn and battle-hardened as Gaethje, I just don't think he's going to be able to stand up to it. I just don't see that. If he does, fucking hell, Fair fucking play. And it'll be a hell of a moment to see an American beat an undefeated fighter at the White House, USA. I'll fucking love it. I love Americans. Look at that, man. Just a fucking eagle. It's just an animal. But they're just giving it USA. This eagle is on that little fucking woman's finger. Little woman. You all see that. And he's wondering, why the fuck are all these people shouting USA at me? I'm a fucking eagle. So yeah, it'll be a great moment if Gaethje pulls it off, and it'll be a fucking fun fight while it lasts. But the fight I'm most intrigued about is this one. Alex Pereira versus Cyril Gane. And obviously I want Pereira to win, right? The way Cyril Gane did my boy Tom Aspinall up, I'm never going to forgive that. You nearly fucking blinded this guy forever. And I'd love Pereira to smash him to bits. But there's a huge X factor in this fight, which means it's really hard to know what we're going to see, because Alex Pereira has gone from middleweight to light heavyweight, 205, to now like 252 for heavyweight. He hasn't just moved up, he has moved up. He's moved up and I'm not going back, son. He's been at that dinner table for fucking months. And this could go one of two ways, right? You could see him move up, he now hits harder. His chin is even better because he's got that added weight on him. In theory, moving up in weight means they're not going to be quite as skilled, right? They're going to be a little slower. You're going to have a bit of a technical advantage on them. And he's already been knocking everyone out. He might be just as good, if not better, at heavyweight. However, there is also the bad side that may be there. You're now slower. You're now a lot slower. 250 fucking pounds is going to make a difference. You could gas out a lot easier now. 5 rounds is not going to be what it used to feel like. And the power that you had at light heavyweight, maybe these guys are comfortable with it. Maybe it's not as deadly as it used to be because you're not hitting guys who are significantly smaller. And then there's the X factor of Cyril Gane, because Cyril Gane actually, for a heavyweight, moves really well. And this is the thing that people didn't really understand, in my opinion, about the Aspinall-Cyril Gane fight, is because Aspinall's so light on his feet and so explosive, he was getting to Cyril Gane. And that's when the eye poke started, because Cyril was feeling the inevitable about that. He was about to get swallowed, in my opinion. And that's when the claws came out. But generally, Cyril Gane moves better than Alex Pereira at a heavyweight, let alone with Pereira putting 50 pounds on. Pereira's not quick-footed. Pereira doesn't use explosive speed. He uses timing. He uses accuracy. He uses traps. He baits you into making mistakes. He feints and stuff like that. But if he's got 50 pound on him, he's following Cyril Gane around, and Cyril's really good at slipping shots and throwing quick back. Cyril's going to throw quicker and harder than anyone Alex Pereira's fought maybe in his life, in terms of the power and the speed. And Alex Pereira's being knocked out of Israel Adesanya. I mean, Cyril Gane hits a lot harder. So it's a dangerous fight from both guys, because both motherfuckers hit hard. They're both very, very good fighters. This is a great fight, in my opinion, even though I can't stand Cyril Gane. I hope Pereira wins, but I think Cyril Gane's going to stop him. I think he's just going to be surprised by how light he is on his feet and by how well he counters him. Hopefully I'm wrong. Either way, Aspinall's smashing both you fuckers. I'm still an Aspinall fanboy. Come on, son. Can't wait to see him back. But let me know what you think's going to happen in the comments below. I'll try and get a UFC White House review out ASAP. Big love to everyone supporting the channel. If you haven't already, hit the like button, subscribe to The Pain Game. I'll see you on the next one.